issues with Kagwa, all the truths you've never seen.
US President-elect Donald Trump is demanding ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. I don't know how he intends to make that happen. But one thing I also read is that there's possibility of the US withdrawing from NATO. And I ask, who then formed NATO and what becomes of NATO? NATO was formed around 1948, and America played a prominent role because the discussions that led to the formation of NATO actually took place at the Pentagon. Now Donald Trump is muting that idea, and I don't know how NATO nations will feel. I don't know what the outcome of this would be. And will this mark the end of NATO if the US decides to pull out? Won't he be treading on a very dangerous path? And how does the withdrawal from NATO by a key member state like the United States look like for NATO? Is it an easy path? Is it something that is going to happen through executive orders, or will he have to go through some sort of constitutional debates and issues that may need to be tested in the courts? I don't know, but I'd love to read about this from anyone who has opinion or has superior knowledge on this path. But I don't think this will sit well because a lot of meanings will be read to it. Is someone trying to nudge Donald Trump to end NATO? Why is he thinking that the end of NATO has to happen? Is it that the US is investing so much in NATO and other NATO members are also not contributing their quota and support to NATO? What's really happening? Why should Donald Trump be thinking of ending NATO? And has NATO really been effective? What has NATO done remarkably since its establishment? And how has NATO supported its member nations as expected? I really don't know, but I don't think that these announcements and discussions like this will sit well with member nations of NATO. I don't know what the withdrawal of NATO would mean for the rest of NATO nations. But America, I also don't know what Americans and America will think about withdrawal from NATO. Trump has been mooting a lot of ideas that may have to go through legal battles, debates and constitutional reviews. And are these going to be really easy for Donald Trump, owing to the fact that he has 4 years? And some of the discussions and debates he wants to engage in may take a lot of his time from focusing on the major issues that are bothering the United States at the moment. I think that the idea around withdrawal from NATO is something that will call for a bigger, deeper debate because it might affect the relationship of the US with a lot of countries. And it's about also doing the cost-benefit analysis and trying to analyze to see if the objectives of NATO over the years and its directions have changed. And if NATO is in any way supporting global peace. I don't know what you think about this. Like I said earlier, I really don't have vast knowledge, but it's something I really want to listen to debates about and try to understand what Trump is trying to do around NATO, Ukraine and Russia crisis. I want to see peace in Ukraine, no doubt. I want to see global peace, but withdrawal from NATO and dismantling NATO, is that the solution? There's been threats around the globe, terrorism and what have you. Europe migration issues around the world is also posing risk because as people migrate, there seems to be a lot going around with migrants. With the withdrawal of the US from NATO, create significant vacuum. And will this also affect the relationship of the US with other world leaders and NATO member states? I want to read your comments on this matter. And I say thanks for watching.
Real issues